Are you gonna do it? You said I was cursed. You think I'm weak because I'm not like you.
You do not know everything, boy.
No. But at least I know the truth now.
The truth.
Hang on, boy!
Okay!
The truth.
Long way from home, aren't you? And here I thought your kind was supposed to be so enlightened, so much better than us.
The gods of these realms don't take kindly to outsiders, trust me. When they find you, and they will, they'll make things difficult.
Wait here. I will handle this.
Wow, that was something, that fight.
On our journey, we will be attacked by all manner of creature. To be effective in combat, a warrior must not feel for his enemy. Close your heart to their desperation. Close your heart to their suffering. The road ahead is long and unforgiving. No place for a boy. You must be a warrior.
But not everyone is bad. Mother always said to be open to those who can help.
Who you were before doesn't matter. This boy is not your past, he is your son. And he needs his father.
What is this?
It's the world serpent!
Stay calm, boy!
I am!
What is it saying?
He wants to help us!
friend Corey Barlog is back on EP and back in the games business in a ferocious way with the brand new God of War, without a subtitle yet, right?
Yep, that's right, just God of War.
Okay, well, you blew everybody away. I think it was the first game that we saw at the press conference.
Yeah.
I don't even want to call it a conference anymore. The show, the big E3 Sony show.
The night at the theater.
It was a wonderful night at the theater.
It was amazing.
And it started and kicked off with this unbelievable, brand new take on Kratos' journey. Explain what you wanted to do with this new God of War.
With this game, we wanted to kind of take it in a completely different direction. We had a character that the history of this character is so well known by people that we wanted to expand him, show a different side, and expand this world. And even with a demo, like what we showed at the night at the theater, was very deliberately chosen to not just lean into the things that everybody knows us for, big set pieces, big bosses. We wanted to try and see, can we get people to actually root for Kratos in a much quieter moment, And it's very, very exciting to see that we succeeded at that, because I know we can just knock it out of the park with bosses. So.
Well, I think that was what was interesting about God of War and its sort of hack and slash context, and I don't mean that dismissively, but it felt like there was a lot more narrative and story and depth and passion. But now you have the technical capabilities to combine both of that in one seamless way with the new machine, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. PS4 is ridiculous. It is a behemoth, opening up so many possibilities for us. Obviously, it takes so much more time and effort and so many more people to do something, which then makes it a very unwieldy ship to kind of start to write.
Yeah.
But man, I would not be working with anything else. It's amazing.
Zelda has an awesome presence at the show this year. It's the thing that Nintendo is just getting behind, like 100%. But this makes me kind of think of Zelda in some ways, and how the reinvention of Zelda over its time has made it a permanent part of our culture in games. And how else could you have gone with God of War if not reinvention, right? If you wanted to mean something to new generations of gamers and still mean something to the people that have been there, but you had to reinvent, right?
Yeah. I think just adding a number at the end, just doing another one, probably would not have worked well for us.
Yeah.
I think you really got to shake it up. The idea of this being the 8th game in this franchise and having people kind of surprised by it is, I don't think I've seen that in a lot of situations.
And in a lot of ways too, and I know you weren't working on God of War 3, but it really was the zenith of the God of War idea, right? Like you really couldn't stretch. I mean, it's so good that they remastered it for PS4, and it looks amazing on the PS4 too. So you had to do something with this thing. Now, I know you're a dad, and you're trying to get into a father-son dynamic here. Are you trying to make us cry with God of War? Is there an element of like, we need to have real raw emotion on the, because we've seen Kratos have emotion, but not necessarily us have emotion.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I'm welling up when I'm watching that interplay between him and his son.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I think throughout the franchise we have always been very good at making you feel anger and frustration and tension and fear.
Yeah.
But the sense of connection, the idea of rooting for him, the idea of feeling bad for him, is unusual, I think, of what we've done in the franchise. I want to do that. That would be amazing.
Awesome. We live in a world post Last of Us now.
Yeah.
Like so much of what that game did has touched so much of what's come since. Is there an influence? I mean, it looks like it could be a little, Last of War or something, or God of Us,
Right.
like, was that a part of the design, or is it just something that is part of the overall maturing of game development in 2016?
Well, I mean, look, Last of Us is an amazing game.
Yeah.
The Naughty Dog is an unbelievably talented team.
Yeah.
And to be compared to them, that's awesome, man. But for us, to me, the influence was a lot more of that transition of Resident Evil 3 to Resident Evil 4.
Cool.
And the expansion and the audience being ready for more mature stories, and not mature as in mature, but really kind of dramatically challenging people to dig a little deeper, not handing all the answers to them. Last of Us did pave the way to me, and I feel like I'm happy for that, because I feel like we are entering an era where gamers are longing for this.
Yeah.
And these are exciting stories as creators to tell.
You told us that there are a lot of hints and connections and Easter eggs in even the slight demo that we've all been able to see now. I want to know if we're also going to replay scenes from, you probably can't tell me, but replay scenes from Kratos' past in your new engine with your new camera.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Maybe something like that would happen.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm a gigantic Mr. Robot fan, and I've watched the first season like 4 or 5 times, just trying to pick apart and find these little Easter egg hints of, oh, that's indicating to that. Oh, what did he just say there? So deliberately, I went sort of OCD on this thing and added so much inside of there that I think one group tried to do an examination of it and only got like 2% of what's actually in there. So it's hopefully this 9-minute demo people will be looking at for a while going, I think I found something else out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You stepped away from games. You worked with George Miller for a while. You've had some other work experience that was outside of this industry, but definitely in narrative kind of imagining. How much did you learn there, and how much do you think you, as a director on this game, benefited from it, and how much did you bring to God of War, do you think?
I do not honestly believe I would be making the game I am today without having spent time with George Miller. Like, without trying, just being around him, writing a story with him, spending 2 years in a conference room talking about character development, drama, and sort of how he works, his process. Like, he was my sensei of drama. I learned so much from him, and then working with the folks over at LucasArts, I had access to George Lucas a little bit, was able to read a lot of the stuff that they were working on and kind of pick up different ways of thinking about it. Like that creative walkabout I had basically allowed me to work with a lot of different people, see a lot of different methods for telling stories, and I think as a director, as a writer, like I grew exponentially. You couldn't get the education I got in a school. Like that was irreplaceable.
And what's it like coming to E3 again in 2016 with a property that is so much a part of your history and you're so intimate with, but it's new? How does it feel to be back?
It feels a lot like God of War 1 when we came to E3. It's weird. I did not expect that, but it also feels like Chewie, we're home.